you said, when we get older, I mean, I noticed you like to go fishing, you know,
Please
and
believe. Please believe.
so and I like
Ed.
I like the little gadgets. So I figured, you know what, this is kind of going to be my pastime, and my
Mhm.
hope, and hopefully I can add something valuable as well, just to the culture
Yeah.
out. Yeah, but hey,
No, you've
man,
been doing a good job, man. Good job.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hey, man. So the format is very simple. And it's very conversational. The idea of this whole thing is just to show people that, you know what, it's not complicated, and
Mhm.
most people are just down to having conversations. Nothing out of the ordinary, nothing hectic, nothing complex. Just a simple conversation, you know.
Right.
And hopefully,
Okay.
out of all of that, there can be some form of uh, a positive that can come out of it, if I can put it that way. So that's
Absolutely.
the plan. And
Mhm.
you and I'd like to let you know we are already live. As soon as we get started, we go live immediately. That
Yeah.
way we don't miss a beat. When once the conversation flows, it flows.
I like
But
that. Good.
my first question is a simple one.
Mhm.
I know we've been around for I could safely say that for myself now. We've been around for a little bit of time, and we've spanned a few generations. So I'd just like you to let the people know who you are and why it's important that they pay attention whenever you pop up.
Damn, that's your simple question, Ed. All right. Yeah. My name is Bob Hirschfeld. Simple guy, born and raised Gabs. Always had a love for hip hop. I grew up on the staples, East Coast hip hop, from Rakim to Dre to, man, I go way back to the Kumo D days, Um, and yeah, always had this just festering love for hip hop, man. The art
Yeah,
form, the culture, the fashion, the clothes, all of that. So I thought, all right, let me look more into this. And I think around my first year of high school at MAP, I partnered with my boy Koziwa Maporisa, who's now known as DJ DJ Koziwa, DJ Kozi Cat.
mm,
And we started our little DJ thing then, but back then we were more into the house. We were more market driven than anything. So uh, I still had that hip hop love in there. Then I went to college in the States, in Florida. So that's where the big down south influence comes from in my music.
mm,
Um, and that's where I really got into hip hop. I hooked up with a couple of hip hop heads, some Rastafarian dudes. I had dreadlocks like you back then. Um, and it was an amazing time, man. It was an amazing time. That's when mixtapes were starting off in the States. It was a huge circuit. I really got into the art of turntablism. Um, so, scratching, mixing, blending, but on turntables. That's why I don't really do a lot of gigs out here because not a lot of guys still use turntables. But that's where my love is: the scratching, the mixing, the blending of beats. Um, yeah, and it just really mushroomed from there. And then I started doing my own little mixes. I think, well, I was doing mixes all along, but I started doing more commercial mixes my year after college. I was now living in St. Pete and Tampa in Florida.
mm.
And I was doing these mixes at home, playing them in my car, sending them to my friends. There's no WhatsApp back then. I was literally burning CDs on my laptop, and distributing them to my neighbors, my friends. And my neighbor had a store in the swap meet, like the flea market
Mm,
downtown in St. Pete. And dude was like, dude, I've never heard anything like this, you know. And where I was living in the South, you know, DJs do the cut and fade type mix. They don't do the blends like how we do out here. So track will be playing, cuts off, next track comes in, even in the clubs. That's how they do it. So I was doing blends, you know, from my house background. You have to blend that track for like a minute. The two tracks are merged, and they went crazy over that stuff. Damn, I almost cussed out there. I don't know if your show allows profanity.
No, it's hey man, it's all up to you.
so so that was it, and I made my first mix, which actually was the first was a prelude to the Sugar Sessions mix, but it was more down south infused R&B. And man, I sold like 165 copies of that CD through his store. Yeah, at $5 a copy back then, I was rich, you know.
That's
So
even today. That's some good money.
yeah, yeah, printing on my home printer on my laptop, using just an inkjet printer to do the covers, sitting there all night cutting them out with scissors. You know, then with the money, I got a proper paper cutter, got a laser printer, did my next run. My next run, I sold over 400 units. And now there's a little buzz on the streets.
Yeah.
So now I really went commercial. I started going to the printers for my covers, and I started going to a guy who was actually doing CDs. He was doing CD printing. So then I went up on TJ's DJs. I was nominated on this DJ's forum. It's a huge forum from Tallahassee, Florida.
Hmm.
Um, and that's when things took off. That's when things went crazy. Internet and MP3 and sound on the internet was now really blowing up. I mean, we're talking 2002, 2003
Yeah.
here, 2004, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty much that's who I am. Simple, home baked dude. Did his bid in the States for a bit. I was out there for 11 years and came back. Recently got married. Beautiful Mfana woman. Love her to death. Yeah, she made an honest man out of me. And yeah, we have a baby daughter. She's 2 years old now. And yeah, since I I was very active here on the music scene too when I first got back. And then things slowed down when I went into the corporate world. Have to maintain a certain image and keep a certain set. So I'm still the hip hop me on the inside. I'll always be the hip hop me. That'll never go anywhere. But I also nurtured my other love, which is what you mentioned, the fishing.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys that follow me were like, "Damn, Ray, what's going on? You're out here with a fishing rod, and where's the music, bro?" I'm like, "Guys, hold up, give me a minute. I'm just taking a break from everything, and I just discovered fishing, man. Fishing was my passion. I love that thing as much as I love the music.
Yeah.
To the extent I even bought a boat, a fishing boat, a bass
Wow.
boat."
That's awesome.
Um, which is fitted now with a sound system. So I
There we
blast
go.
the mixtapes on there. So
Awesome.
yeah, man. Yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
All
Yeah.
right, no, awesome. And I love the fact that throughout the journey, even while you moved away from hip hop, just a little bit, but it was always hovering somewhere. And recently, I was very pleasantly surprised when I saw you were gonna throw out a little something. Yeah, I was like, oh my goodness, the,
It's been
the
a
legend,
minute.
the legend is back. So just take us through a little bit of that journey where it was like, okay, now I think it's time to maybe dabble back into it and see what's what pushed you to kind of like just put something together and bless us again.
Well, it actually started way back from COVID times.
Mm-hmm.
During COVID, I was watching I can't remember what they were called, those live DJ
Yes,
studio
yes,
sessions.
that's right. Yeah,
I'm watching these cats and I'm like, okay, okay, watching these cats, okay, okay. I'm like, hold up. We're underrepresented here, man. I'm not hearing anything that's like moving me spiritually, Yeah, I'm a house guy too. I like that shit too, but come on, man. I need a little bit of hip hop. I need to hear something that's in my blood here.
yeah,
So I'm like, all right, I just got sick. You know how long we were in the house for. I'm like,
yeah,
I'm
man.
sick of this. I'm sick of this. I'm gonna make some of the music I want to hear, and that's what I did. And my first mix was actually an Amapiano mix, which
Oh
was
wow.
called Club COVID.
Yeah,
Club COVID. Just and that brought me back, and that immediately just relit that spark. I was like,
yeah,
okay, wait a minute. Then I did one more, and I did another one after that. Okay, well, they were okay. They were okay, not too bad.
yeah.
Um, and then that's when I got a little bit more serious now and started doing the covers, started doing paying more attention to my track listing. So just before Sugar Sessions, there was another one I did, which was Brick City to Bucktown. I don't know if you
Mm.
got that one. Yeah,
Mm-mm. No, but
man,
we're gonna get to that just now.
man, man.
We're gonna get to
Yeah,
that
that's
part just now. Go
yeah.
on.
So this Sugar Sessions, I think, is my most commercial mixtape ever. And you know me, I like the sound of the underground.
Yes.
I don't really play commercial cuts, but I thought let me do something for the people. Let me do something that people will relate to and get back to real easily. So that was that. But the first offering, Brick City, bruh. Check
Yeah.
out Brick City. You won't be disappointed.
Yeah.
That's more you.
On that note, before we proceed,
Hmm.
and I like to
Yeah.
do this early so that because usually people will pay attention a little bit, and after a while they kind of lose their way and start doing other things. How do we
Yeah.
get our hands on the sessions? Most importantly, how do
Well,
we?
good question. I did have a page up that was like one of those Buzzsprout pages.
Yeah.
Um, and I didn't maintain that very well and it went down. But the good news is I've got my djraid.com domain back up
Nice.
and I've started uploading stuff to a public page where you can then download all the mixes. But for now, I would say most of them are on my Facebook page, DJ Raid on Facebook, DJ RADE. Yeah, that's where you can find the majority for now.
All right. Awesome, guys. Listen, DJ Raid on Facebook, everything is there. Go there now before it gets taken down, and then you have to start buying. So for now, for now, you can still go over there and get the stuff. But soon, I am confident that someone will be like, "No, sir, we need to monetize this thing, so please take it down." And I'll gladly pop out some money for those mixes. Honestly speaking, seriously
Oh, that's
speaking,
dope. That's
and and
dope. You got
and
50 right now, bruh?
I got 500. I can afford it. You have no idea, bro. Like you get to a point in life, right, where
Mm,
you
mm,
want to spend money on good things. Because
absolutely. I hear
yeah,
you.
because
Yeah,
when we're
yeah,
younger, it's more like, hey, you gotta hustle to get everything. If you're putting out
absolutely.
product, you gotta hustle to put out the product. And
That's true.
sometimes you put out the product, and the people it's meant for, they can't really afford to buy it because it's not like they get money like that. So
I hear you.
once you start getting a little bit more on the product, I want to put it in the right place. I want to
That's
put it
true.
where it matters most. You know what I'm saying? So, hey man,
Absolutely, man.
anytime you wanna get it popping, I'm there, bro. I'm absolutely there.
Appreciate you, man. I appreciate
Yeah,
you. Yeah,
yeah.
man.
You
Yeah.
spoke a little bit about the pandemic, right? I just want
Mm,
to know how was that and this is a question I asked all of my guests, right? How was
mm.
the experience for you? and how did you navigate it from a creative perspective? Do you feel like your creative side helped you get through it?
It it was crazy, man. It was crazy for everybody. But I feel I was in a little bit more privileged position because I happened to fall under emergency services. So it didn't affect me as badly as everyone else. And we didn't get laid off. There were no cuts at work. Nothing changed with my salary. So that was great. And when I actually look back and looking at your question, COVID actually helped my creative process. Um, it just made things more clearer. I had more time. That's my biggest problem now. I do so many things. I don't have the time to do some of the stuff I want to do. And COVID, shit, COVID helped me a lot. Like I said, I was sitting down here, I had time on my hands. I went back into designing. You know,
Mm,
I hadn't designed anything. I hadn't sat down with Photoshop for I think 2.5 years before that. And just before I did the Sugar Sessions cover, same thing. I hadn't sat down with Photoshop for I think 2 years, 2 years before that. So it really did spark and push the creative process because literally you had nothing else to do. And then it forced me to fine tune it and look at it even harder. I even made a couple of beats
there you go.
during that time. Yeah, yeah. So slowly but surely, it's all coming back, bro. It's all coming back.
I'm glad. I'm glad. Like what
Yeah,
what you
man.
what you see here in terms of like this whole setup and this whole get up is from COVID, right? Because around that
Wow.
time,
Yeah.
like you said, there was nothing to do here. But I wasn't emergency services or anything. I was at home, locked down. But from there, came just having conversations with people, and that
Hmm.
snowballed to trying to see if I could converse with people from other countries and then different continents, right? And
Yeah.
it was really good. It actually worked out, And from there,
I
I
like
got
that.
called out. I was told, "Hey, man, you can't just be talking to people out there. What about us here?" And I said, the time for that will come, right? Right
Mhm.
now, everybody has been brought down. We're all in one room right now, and
Yeah.
we all can't get out.
Yeah.
So
True.
the best thing I can do now is just to show how much we have in common while we're here. And once at some point the doors are gonna be open. When that happens, we'll see. And lo and behold, as 2021 came to a close and things were opening up, I was finding it harder to get guests from beyond our shores. And
Overseas. Yeah.
the radio allowed us back in again, and yeah, things flipped, and we took it as it came, So it worked out, and it really really helped set the stage for a lot of things, man, a lot of things. But
Absolutely. 100% agree. Yeah.
speaking of DJing, right? Um,
Hmm.
because you are from the real, like from the reels, not the reels as in Instagram reels, but from you know from,
Oh yeah.
from the real.
Absolutely.
There's I think about five people I know personally, right? There's you.
Hmm.
There's a gentleman. I forget his DJ name because he's also one of my students' parents. Very
Hmm.
interesting. Yeah, there's him, and
Hmm.
and and I'm also going to corner him into having a conversation with me as well. Of course, there's
Mm.
Kenzo.
Hmm.
There's DJ Bigger, right?
Hmm.
And I don't know if you
Big
know
up. Let me see. Who?
Udris.
Udris.
Yes,
No. No.
good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have you guys not showcase your skills one of these nice Saturday afternoons when hopefully you're not fishing. Yes, because
Yes, sir. Uh,
yes, because that kind of turntablism is almost like a dying art in the music
yeah.
industry,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
look at the people who are really into scratching. It's guys who are a bit older now. There's very
Hmm.
few younger people who are taking it up. And
Yeah.
I was flipping through my Instagram reels the other day, and I saw there was one guy who literally was in a classroom with, like, I think these kids might have been 10 or 11, and they all had
Hmm.
like these little mock-ups of a deck, right? And they were being taught
Hmm.
different scratching techniques. And I'm like,
Nice.
we can
Nice.
definitely pull that off. Absolutely, because
Absolutely. Yeah.
most
Yeah.
90% of people I know who scratch have their own. All of them have their own. Like, they have their own get up. The entire
Decks. Yeah.
decks,
Yeah.
right? They have their own decks and everything. And I think the best way to start is just to put everybody together and just to show parents who are into that culture to say it's still alive and your kids can get into it too. I don't know. What do you think?
I think that's great, man. They had something like that out in Tampa, like a
Yeah,
music academy for kids, a
yeah,
DJ specifically academy for kids, and it was amazing. So I think kids now, now DJs are very commercial and they become hyped up. You've got the Uncle Waffles, the Maporisas, but like you said, the art form is dying. You won't see a lot of DJs on a turntable. You won't see a lot of kids born, in the last 10 years even know what scratching is or have heard beat juggling, you know. So
hmm,
that's a bit of a problem for me, and maybe that's something that might solve it.
yeah. No, I really hope so. We have
Mm,
a mini music business session coming up at the end of the month, and I'm gonna definitely reach out to you guys. I mean, there's probably gonna be more DJs coming, but I'm gonna reach out to
mm,
you guys and have you guys at least come so we can have that conversation, just informally, and see maybe in a month or two, because it is also Hip Hop 50 this year. So
absolutely.
yeah, and I know in South Africa it's Hip Hop 40, and I'm fighting really hard to see how we can add value, because um, interestingly, hip hop out here it's not a border. How do I say? It's not a bordered. It's not a sheltered experience. It was a very regional
Mm,
experience. So when South Africa says
yeah,
hip hop 40, it's not really a South African thing. It's really a Southern African thing, because hip hop did
yeah,
grow from different countries, and everybody just happened to be either in a South African school, or maybe parents worked in South Africa, but we're from Bars, or we're from Zim. So I'm trying to see if we can add value to that hip hop 50 idea. And I know for a fact that on the DJing side of things, like, I know the biggest export in SA, for my knowledge, is DJ Ready D, right?
mhm.
But
To this
I do,
day.
to this day, interestingly,
Yeah.
to this
Mm,
day, but I do believe that if and I know the organizer of Hip Hop 40 in South Africa,
mm,
and I know if we do put up a few things locally, and I send him the tape and I say, "Oh, listen, this is what we have." I know he's gonna be totally up for, two or three of our DJs here flying down to Johannesburg and adding value there in a major way. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm very excited. That's why when I saw your tape coming out, I was like, no, this is providence. This is definitely God telling me to say, hey man, get busy.
One love, absolutely, man, and that would be great. I'd be down for something like that all day. I just still need to see if I still got it, if the reflexes can still kick in at this age. So,
Riding a bike,
uh,
riding a bike.
um, one of the things that has been irking my wife is my secret turntable fund. Um, that's
Huh?
like, yeah, seven years running as we speak, because I have to siphon off very small, tiny, unnoticeable amounts at a go. So, but yeah, man, I wanna get a pair of just vintage 1200s that I've been looking at them for 9 years,
Wow.
and finally decided, yeah, that's the way to go. I've never owned a pair of digital decks, CDJs or Pioneers, um, and I actually struggle.
Mm,
I struggle using those. Um, but with decks, this, there's just no there's no competition. You know what I mean? There's no I don't know how else to say it, man. It's just so once I get those decks, 80, once I work the arthritis out of these worn fingers.
yes, sir.
Yeah, the world. I still have my slip mats, right? I
Okay.
still have my slip mats. That tells you right there, this man is. It's never gonna go. My wife.
Right.
What are these? My wife thinks they're what are these roller polishing things? And
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
okay, okay, that's what they are. So I don't get the lecture about I'm past my prime, and so I was playing the mix the other day. I didn't tell her it's my mix. I just
Yeah.
let it play in the car, and I see her bumping her head, and she's like, ooh, ooh, and I'm like, told you, you know. So I still have it, man, and if it's wife approved, it's life approved, bruv.
Facts. I'm gonna steal that from you. If it's wife approved, it's life approved. I'll put that on a t-shirt. That is fact. That is absolute fact.
Yeah,
Let
man.
me ask this.
Mhm,
We and this is like I'm kind of taking a left turn real quick as we start wrapping up.
mhm,
Um,
mhm,
we are like you, myself, and a few other people I know are men who've kind of like taken the dive into family life, right?
mhm,
Some of us fell into it, some of us actively, jumped into it, right? How important is it for that to to exist, especially in Botswana? Because there's a lot going on the positive aspect in terms of us taking that jump, but
mhm,
also every day you will see and hear of the need for family, the need for fathers. Um,
mhm.
what are your thoughts on that, real quick?
100%. I'll start on a slight negative and say there's moments I feel the family unit is falling apart, or the traditional family unit is falling apart in Botswana. I grew up in a very nuclear household. Everyone had to be sitting at the table at lunch. If you weren't, you were in trouble. Everyone had to be sitting at the table for dinner, supper. And nowadays, even in my own family, I find us kind of drifting apart, and not really sticking to the same values, which is an entirely separate conversation. There, don't get me
True.
started on that one. Uh, but with Botswana men in particular, I think we have a very bad reputation. We abusers, we run away, irresponsible, we don't take care. Um, and that image needs to change. That strong fatherly role needs to come to the fore for most Botswana men, I think. And I say that because I came back here from the States with my daughter. Um, Her mother unfortunately passed away a couple of months after delivery. She had to have a heart transplant, and her new heart failed the body. So that's what prompted my move to come back to Botswana, was with the little baby girl. Um, and everybody was shocked, including her family in America and my family here. You came with this kid, wow, whoa. And like, what was I supposed to do? For me, it was not anything, whoa. Was I supposed to leave my kid in America and just say somebody somewhere will take care of her? No. And as Botswana men, we don't have that. We don't have that respect, or we don't have that image or perspective from the outside, which is why I think your question is very relevant, very important, especially in Botswana, especially now. Um, which is why finally, after all this time, I got married. As the last one in my family out of four kids. All my siblings got married before me. But when I did, that I don't, I felt that satisfaction. I felt that, oh yeah, moment, like I'm here. And there's no feeling like that. It's priceless. When you see this woman that's committed to your crazy self and said, I'm gonna sit here and spend the rest of the life with you and go through all this crap with you. I mean, making this mix, she had to sit through like 5 days of madness for her. Like I wasn't sleeping, I wasn't bathing. I'd be up at 4 at night, just trying to fine tune. And she'd be like, "Dude, are you gonna go to sleep?" I'd be like, "Mm-hmm, yep." And she'd wake up at like 8 on a Saturday, and I'd still be wide awake. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "No, now I'm doing the cover." You know, so so that's it's a beautiful thing, man. And I think, yeah, we need to embrace it more. We need to embrace it more as
I
Botswana men.
completely agree. And
Mm,
again, as you were talking, when you spoke about, the feeling of being there, that's exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, you feel like you've arrived. You might have been dating
exactly.
this person for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years,
Yeah, 10 years in my case.
yes, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying. But once you
yeah,
make that step, it's literally like, okay, we're here now. This is
we're
something
here.
different,
We're here. Yeah,
and
yeah,
and
absolutely.
I'm always very supportive, and I'm an advocate of that because
Mm,
sometimes I don't know if it's fear, we get scared of commitment, and there is no greater commitment
yeah, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
that can be beat. Um, no, that's awesome, man. And let's talk future for a little bit, right? Before I make some announcements on our behalf. Um, what is your plan from here? Like what does DJ Raid have in store for us? Or is it just like a once off where you're like, okay guys, I'm just letting you know I'm still here. I'll see you guys in 5 years. Or or should we hope for
No,
more?
I don't want it to be that. I'm really getting back into the music right now. I'm really just it's making these mixes. It makes you come alive. The thing I love the most about it is curating the playlist. Just going through. There's so much music out there, and that's the most difficult part. And I had a robbery about
Wow.
4 years back, and they
Yeah.
cleaned me out, man. Sneaker collection, clothes, everything. But one of the worst things that really touched me was my drives. I had drives that go 10 years back. I'm sure I had about 180 gigs of just hip hop. Um, yeah, and that crushed me. I still haven't recovered.
Yeah.
Um, so I've slowly been collecting, but the plus side of that is you go through all the music again. You do rediscover all the old gems. You go through the same feeling and you're like, oh, snap, I forgot about that hit, Oh, I
Yeah.
found you. Oh, and right now when I listen to this, I can hear another song blending in my head. That's how I do my mixes. Like I mix on the fly.
Yeah. So you play it by
So
ear.
I play it by ear, right? Then you curate the playlist, then you do the mix, then you add the ad libs. I kept the ad libs to a very bare minimum. My mixes. I always have the DJ RADE, whatever in the middle, because I've had mixes stolen before. That just traumatized me from day one. So, but going forward with the future, man, I told you about the turntable fund. I did get permission because I really want to get back on the boards. I want to get back into production, but more hands-on production than software production. And by
Okay.
that, I mean, I have, I don't know if I should tell you guys this, but I have pre-ordered an MPC,
So
which is what I used
we
to
have
use in the States.
we have a scoop.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've pre-ordered that, and a couple of guys knew my little Korg micro Korg keyboard that I had, which had the beat pad on it. I love that thing. That's how I made a lot of the hip hop and dubber beats.
Yeah.
Um, but now I'm just really taking it back to square one with the MPC. And no, guy, don't think it's a classic vintage. Don't think it's anything. It's just a basic entry level MPC that's gonna let me get back onto the boards, and just bang out some beats. I'm gonna marry it with the microcorg and see. That's where I'm going. I still have a couple of homies in the US, New York, Chicago, Atlanta, Tampa, and Miami, of course. Um, One in particular that I'm working with now, Jermaine Myrick, my boy for days. He's also doing other things. We're much older. He's running dump trucks in Atlanta,
Oh wow.
uh, making a lot of money. Yeah. But every day he's just like me. The music, man. He moved up to Atlanta for the music. So
Wow.
if me and him and my other boy Kevin Sender, if we can get something going good, yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed.
Now,
That's what I would
definitely,
say is for the future.
I am absolutely confident and I have faith that definitely the winds are blowing in the right direction and things will
Boom
definitely
bap
come.
has to live, bruh. Boom bap has to survive.
It's alive,
There's so much stuff out there now,
Yeah,
Eddie, that I can't listen. I'm like, what? How did this make it out? Who said it's okay for people to listen to this? I'm gonna endorse this. I'm gonna distribute this. I'm gonna license this. No, I'm sorry, bruv. Call me old school, but yeah, we need to keep the golden age alive for as long as we can. So I'm
yeah.
gonna do my part.
I think it's alive. I think it's alive and well. I think the biggest thing we do is we expect the younger generation to take it out
Absorb it.
and move
Yeah,
with it as
yeah.
to the fullest as we. But it's not. That's not the case. When a
No,
child is learning how to walk, if you're not there with the kid, of course they're gonna stumble and fall, and they're not gonna know how to put one leg in front of the other.
absolutely.
So that
Yeah.
guidance is always necessary, and that's why we're here, I guess. Now, one last word. Tell me your craziest hip hop story.
Damn, Ed. What can I say? What can I say? Ah, Lordy, Lordy, Lord. Yeah,
Too
I'm
many?
scrolling through my mind. I don't know what's safe and what's not safe. Okay, uh, let's go with something sanitary. So my first year of college, I started working for my college radio station, which was WECX 99.9 FM.
Yeah,
And I didn't realize it came with perks. Part of those perks was getting records sent to you from every major label,
naturally, yeah.
Interscope, all of them, Arista, everybody. And each respective like program director, hip hop, jazz, world music, got their slot in their share. And I mean doubles and triples of vinyl records.
Mm,
So yeah, I didn't expect those perks. Number one. Number two, the real thing, the real wow moment for me was when we were sent tickets, airline tickets, hotel tickets to attend the music conference in New York. I'm trying to remember the name now. I don't know why it's blacked out.
yeah.
Anyway, we went. We got paid for. We're college students on college radio. I think there's like my school had about 4,000 people, 5,000 people.
Mm,
Um, so everyone on campus could listen, and then we had a radius of maybe a mile or two outside campus. So some people in the burg could listen to us. So I'm like, who the hell are we to be invited to this huge like radio conference in New York? So we went there. As soon as we got there, we got the passes, hang around your neck with the passes, goodie bag with the CDs and magazines, stickers, records, just all kind. I was in shock, Eddie. I was in
Yeah,
shock. As soon as we go to the conference hall, this is downtown New York. I'm looking. It's first time I'm in New York.
yeah,
Billboards, like flashing lights. Go into this flashy conference center by the and before we even walked in, guys recognized us from the key tags, placards we
yeah.
had on,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
guys had their CDs. I'm talking about 50 guys wouldn't let you through without taking one of their mixtapes or promo CDs. That blew my mind. Like this is how they do it here. This is how they push. Like I'm in your face. You're gonna listen to me.
Mm.
Um, that was a crazy moment for me. But later on that night, went to the House of Blues, all access pass again, and
Wow.
that's when I got to see the Roots for the first time with a live band.
Nice.
And because I had the card, I could go backstage, talk to Black Thought, talk to that settled it. That was my, and I think that's when they put out Hip Hop to the Love of My Life, Ode to Hip Hop. Yeah,
Yeah. Nice.
that was it, man. Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. Hey, man. This is hopefully one of many conversations we're going to have, whether it's on this platform or another platform. There's some stuff coming up. I'm going to send you like a bunch of things in the next few minutes for you to look at.
Okay.
Um, but thank you so much for the time. Really, really appreciate it. And guys out there, for you guys who watched, for you guys who listened live, appreciate it as well. Of course, this interview is gonna be cut up a little bit. We're gonna do a little bit of editing, and then it's gonna go up again for those who couldn't make it today. Shout out! Let me
Okay.
give a few shout outs. There's some people that were here commenting, um, showing
Oh,
love.
okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. J
Appreciate you,
Dot.
fellas. J Dot. Yeah,
Yes.
man. I love little homie, man. I love that dude, bruh. Big up, Jay. Big
Uh,
up. He's been
concrete
putting
was
mad
out
work
here.
in too.
That's right. Concrete was
Concrete,
out here as well.
con.
Yeah,
Respect, brother.
that's
Respect.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, E was in
Oh,
the
my
house.
fam, man. E.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
he's ducking
Pioneers.
me right now. Like he's ducking me right. I'm trying to get him
Man.
on the platform. He's ducking me, but
It's good to see. It's good to
and
see,
of
bro.
course,
That's dope.
someone is actually asking like, "Yo, Bob is a DJ?" And I'm like,
Who is that?
one of my Facebook friends. She's shocked that you're a DJ. Yeah,
Long history. She'll be. Ask her to look at my Facebook page. She'll be shocked.
I'm sure right
DJ
now she's
Ray.
going to say, "Oh my goodness, I had no idea." Or maybe she remembers DJ RADE with the locks and thinks it's me.
Yeah, yeah, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
brother, thank you so much. And of course,
Appreciate you, man.
the missus is out here, always supportive. She's actually watching right now.
Oh, hey, absolutely. Yeah, she's got your back 100%. Oh,
So
that's dope, man.
she actually checks. She actually helps. She likes to like check the quality of the stream usually, just and then she gives me heads up if the sound has a problem or if the video is
Man,
not.
right there. She gets wifey points right there. Wife of the Year award. Whoa. Way to
Sure, sure, sure.
go, Mrs. M.
Oh man, we got people in the house. They're coming out. Look, Juliana.
Jules, hey.
Hey, let's go. So I'm telling you, man. We gonna. I'm gonna really work really hard, put this thing together. We're gonna have ourselves a huge.
Absolutely.
Actually, you know what? You know what? I'm turning 40 this year. I'm turning
Mm-hmm.
40 this year, and I'm having like thoughts of just locking myself up somewhere for the entire day. And a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people are told me, Eddie, that's super selfish. You can't do that. You can't lock yourself away when you're celebrating such a milestone. You should do that with
Mm.
people you love. So I mean,
Yeah.
why not just have a huge old school, new school, get together and with the people that matter and those who scratch, those who rap,
Yeah.
and those who
Mm.
dance, dance, and those who dance they know themselves. They in the
Do
crowd
that,
somewhere.
bro. Do that.
So we'll make it happen.
I'm down for that, man. I'm down for that. Yeah, yeah,
No pressure.
yeah.
But sir, thank you. Appreciate it. If you want to give any shout outs now, please go ahead. And after that, I guess we'll say our goodbyes.
No, I just wanted to say thanks to the fans, man. The biggest thing has been the love, getting it from the fans, knowing people have been waiting, guys giving me feedback on the mixes. I really appreciate all of you guys. Don't worry, it's only going to get better from here. Thanks for the support. Keep supporting. Share the links, share the friends, share my page with your friends. My links are all up on the page. DJ RADE Facebook. Thanks again. Appreciate you. Big up.
All right, boss. Thank you. That's it. That's it from us. You'll definitely hear from me just now. And enjoy the rest of your evening and pass our love to the family out there. And thank
For
them
sure.
for allowing this conversation to take place.
Absolutely. And thank you for adding to my turntable fund there. This is definitely going to help.
But that fund is gonna grow. That's a dope idea. Everybody should do that. It's gonna grow. Yeah, like I said, we're gonna discuss that as well. Like I planned.
Yeah,
Sure, boss.
this show now, I'm just going to use this show and you see, so that my allowance will increase. I can top it up even more. But thanks, Ed. I
Anytime.
appreciate you, blood. I appreciate you,
Yes,
fam.
sir. All right. Thank you, sir. Peace.
Real. All right.
All right, guys. So that was DJ Raid. You all know DJ Raid. DJ Raid is from back in the day, and we met like not long after he moved back to Botswana, and the love was just there, and we used to attend the hip hop in Daba at by middle Marapula, yeah, Marapula, and we used to hang out, and we both saw Drama Boy perform at the same time, and yeah, and since then we've remained friends. He's really been a big brother, big supporter of what we're doing right now, and yeah. But thank you guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being part of this journey. This is what's going to happen because I need to be able to cut this interview that just happened. So I'm gonna have to end the broadcast for about 10 minutes, because in 10 minutes we are going to cross over to Touch. Touch is going to be having a really really dope show. Our whole rap Dre is happening with Skibamba as a guest. So we're gonna move over to that. So if you wanna watch it on this channel, just bear with me for 10 minutes while I get that going real quick, and I'll get the stream back up again, and we're gonna go over to Haho Rabdre right here on our channel. So that's something that's brand new that we're doing as well. We're exploring ways in which we can also add value to other people's productions, from right here on Know the Ledge. So in 10 minutes, 7 o'clock. We'll be right back, and we're gonna cross over to the Horab Dre with Touch and Skibamba. Please just wait for the link to come back up. But meanwhile, thank you so much for being with me, for being here. And next week we're gonna have another really really special conversation with someone from the U.S. who is also a DJ. Interestingly enough, and he's gonna tell us about the culture out there and how he keeps it alive. All right, guys, we'll see you in about 10 minutes. You take care. Thank you so much, and peace.